Well, actually, I think the first thing that happened was a friend of Tyler's suggested the idea to him, right?
Yeah, and of course, to be honest with you, I really didn't know much about Randi. I knew a little bit, but not enough. And once I started researching, I thought, oh my goodness, he would make a fantastic subject of a documentary. Reached out to him. They agreed to let us do it. And Justin and I jumped in and started making the film. And 3 years later, here it is at the Tribeca Film Festival.
Et le voilà. Well, I'm a professional magician by trade, and I deal in deception, of course. But it's deception for purposes of entertainment. And when I see people prostituting my art, really, by going out there and telling people that these paranormal so-called effects are genuine and that they should depend on them and tack their future to the procedures that are being advertised and sold blatantly on television, such religious claims as I strike you on the forehead and you'll be healed and such because I have some sort of connection with celestial forces, that's very reprehensible. And I'm of the school that says, do it right, do it good, do something. If you know that something is wrong, speak up and say something about it. And that's what I've done. And these gentlemen have recorded my doing exactly that.
Penn and Teller claim, as Penn says, outside of his family, there's no one closer to him than James Randi. So all of them were more than happy to speak about him and what he's doing. All of them also engaged in some of the same similar missions that Randi is engaged in. And we found a nice core of people that said wonderful things and said exactly what we wanted. And we discovered a lot more from talking to these people than we could have just from research upon James Randi himself.
Yeah, if you look at Penn and Teller, I mean, they have said that there wouldn't be a Penn and Teller without a James Randi. I mean, their work is highly influenced their show Bullshit, and a lot of their take on magic, but also, Adam Savage, he is a mythbuster, and that's very much, in the vein of what Randi has done. So, it was not a problem to find people like that who love Randi and have the same point of view, and they were great. Bill Nye, the science guy, and they all actively participate in the TAM, the amazing meeting that the James Randi Foundation has every year in Las Vegas. And so, there's a big kind of group of, pro-science skeptical thinkers out there that, are kind of following in his footsteps.
And in regard to the Penn and Teller situation, I remember I met Penn and I met Teller. I met them separately. Then I met them together on another occasion. And I looked at the two of them and they wondered, what are you looking at? And I said, I'm seeing Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy here. The two of you are so different, physically and emotionally and philosophically and such, and the way you present yourself to the camera. You guys should be working together. And they said, well, we thought of it one time. We didn't really do anything with it. 2 weeks later, I get a call and say, hey, we're now Penn and Teller. So I did some good in my life, yeah.